Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here today from Man Guide titled 20 Minutes of Modern Women Losing Their Minds Because They Have Nothing to Offer Men. It seems to me like these modern women can't help but constantly tell on themselves because all they seem to do is give men more and more reason to walk away. Today's video was sent to me by Matrix of Madness. I'm going to leave both of their channels linked in the pinned comments, so make sure you go and subscribe to these guys. And also, don't forget to leave your own thoughts and comments. Let's jump right into the video.
What do you bring to the table?
Everything. I got 2 kids, you know what I mean? So everything. If you're willing to provide for my kids, then everything.
Everything like what?
My kids, my life, my mental health, everything, like everything. Everything you want to know about me, I'll bring to the table for sure.
Well, that just sounds like a bargain right there, especially if she's also bringing crippling debt to the table as well. Let's continue.
Do you listen to what our young women, what comes out of their mouths these days? When they ask somebody, what do you bring to the table? Say, look at me now.
I am the table.
What do you bring to the table? Our women don't say, I have brains, I can do this, I can help you take your business to the next level. They think this is the table. I have breasts, I have nyash.
Well, at least she's being honest. She's honestly thinking that a man must offer his money, time, and loyalty to a woman who's literally saying she brings nothing but products that augment her face and a pack of sugar-free gum just as a cherry on top to the relationship.
Walking way too close. I'll slow down. Yeah. And this feels even creepier. Guess I'm passing.
So many men can relate to this because so many men just want you to be comfortable. The worst thing that they can be called is a creep.
This is facts. I'm pretty good at talking to people in the street, but I walk fast, so I always tend to walk up on other people walking slower. A simple greeting is what I do, but it's always awkward because society has deemed all men evil, violent R-words.
It's more like society has deemed any man who isn't a Giga Chad to be evil and violent. Chads will always get a pass when it comes to their behavior. It's the average men who have to be incredibly careful as to how they walk. It's rather concerning.
I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either. You're gonna try to get me drunk and take me back home. No. We are doing dinner. You're gonna pick me up. We're gonna come to the restaurant. We're gonna see your table manners. We're gonna see what you order. We're gonna see, do you hold your chopsticks correctly? We're just gonna, study you a bit. Okay, so dinner it is.
This video is a classic, but it makes me wonder, does this woman honestly think men are taking notes and taking what she says to heart? I always assumed men see this crap and immediately know that these women are the ones to be avoided at all costs.
Don't worry. Based on this 20 seconds clip, most of us won't bother asking. I've seen this woman all over the internet LARPing her feminism and misandry. You can tell she carries more baggage than an airplane. Her angry, bitter tone demanding how you should treat her like a Disney princess as she grows older by the day. Imagine having to live that angry all day, every day. What a nightmare. It's this same entitled mindset that's driving men away.
That's just it, guys. These women think that they are the greatest things to ever walk this planet, but they offer next to nothing. They disrespect the men around them, and then they expect those very same men to pay for their dinners. It makes no sense.
What do you bring to the table?
I'm not going to answer this question. This is just something that I wouldn't answer in a date. I'm not going to answer here.
Fine.
I'm not going to answer how many books I've read.
Okay.
It's that power dynamic.
What do you expect men to bring to the table?
Integrity, clarity, consistency, strong connection to divinity, not necessarily religion, but some kind of purpose-based lifestyle.
So what is the female equivalent of that?
The same.
Then why wouldn't you just say that at the table when he asks you?
If you guys take a look at the faces of the women around her, even they have no idea what she's talking about. But that's because she has no idea what she's talking about. It's just a vain attempt to try and make herself look deeper than she actually is.
Yes, we all want to bring single mothers with neck tattoos to meet mom and dad. She didn't miss a beat when asked what a man brings to the table, but, when asked again. They never seem to be able to answer what they should bring. This is how women respond when they have no skills, hobbies, or passions. They blame the patriarchy while having a huge list of demands for a man.
I hate to imagine what those neck tattoos will look like in 10 years. With the amount of stress and anxiety these women put themselves through, it's going to age them a lot faster than traditional women.
Women nowadays are so high maintenance. What do you bring to the table? Oh boy, I have a lot to say on this. Let's go. First of all, women bring emotional support. We're there to provide comfort and a safe space to come home to. We bring compassion, care, and healing. We bring beauty and femininity. Cause don't lie, bro, you also take pride when your girl is a 10. Your ego gets boosted too when all your friends think your girlfriend is hot. Don't lie, bro. We're also there to give you a second opinion, to stop you from doing stupid shit. Cause we have your best interests at heart. And we want to support your goals, your plan, your vision. And on top of that, we bring intimacy, closeness, empathy, understanding, guidance to the freaking table.
It's interesting how she lists off all these things that women used to bring into long-term relationships, but when they post videos like this, all they prove is that they can't bring any of those things. The level of disrespect they bring proves this, guys.
Cause I've seen y'all men comfort each other, and it is the lamest thing ever. Oh bro, I had a bad day at work. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Take it easy, yeah? Here, have a can of beer. Now, would you prefer that? Or, oh baby, do you want to talk about it? Tell me, what else can I do to make you feel better? If you'd rather be comforted by your bros and a can of beer, then go marry each other, lah.
It never ceases to amaze me how these women will endlessly mock men over their friendships. It's always the stereotype as well, as if all men just complain about their lives while drinking. But if you replace the drinking with the boxed wine, that fits more in line with a modern woman when you think about it.
Or better yet, go marry the fucking table. And mind you, women nowadays can afford to pay our own rent and bills. We can buy our own meals and can still afford to go on shopping sprees to pamper ourselves with cute clothes, makeup products, and beauty treatment. So if we can already do that for ourselves, I guess the question is, what do you bring to the table? Period. Okay, I love you always. Bye.
She's basically saying that a man's value to a woman only extends to the amount of money that he has in his wallet and how much he's willing to spend on her. Men have made it clear they aren't interested in a woman's money, and that doesn't stop her endless bragging.
Sounds good on paper, but I highly doubt you're bringing peace and comfort, let alone emotional support to anyone. You sound and act like you're still in middle school. The crazy eyes are on a whole new level as well. I get plenty of peace from my hobbies and passions. And unless a woman shares that and can actually act mature and peaceful, no point in trying.
That's actually a really good point. Modern women act like immature teenagers well into their 30s, but they'll still act like they're the mature ones because they have money and don't play any video games. That's how low they set that particular bar.
What are you bringing to this so-called table?
Me, for myself, I work a 9-to-5. I'm a single mother. I take care of my kid. I pay my own bills.
But that's everything that you do for yourself. What are you bringing to the table as far as a relationship?
You're an adult. Everything you listed is you just being a human adult. So I expect you to be independent. Just like I'm independent, Ace is independent, Jew is independent. We do everything for ourselves. Like a lot of women's personality trait is that I'm strong, independent, and don't need no man. Of course, that's not showing me anything that you could offer a long-term successful relationship.
The double standard for men is kind of ridiculous. Men are expected to go above and beyond for practically everything in life in terms of property, finances, and looks, and that's considered the bare minimum. But a modern woman can pay her rent and she thinks it's worthy of a medal.
So if I rephrase the triggering statement of what are you bringing to the table in a more acceptable way, it would sound like this. So as a woman, what attributes do you possess that would improve our relationship and improve my life? What are you bringing to the table? And because a lot of women have been conditioned to believe that their worth and value is directly predicated on how much money she makes, how much she owns, what kind of degree she has, when you ask them this question, those are the type of responses that you get.
The responses that these women give to the table question reflects what they want a man to bring them. So they assume that's the exact same thing that a man wants. And even when a man tells them the opposite, she refuses to believe him.
And that's not what you bring to the table as a woman. It has taken me years to understand my value and the significance of my energy and aura as a woman. So now if someone was to ever ask me that question, here is how I would answer. Yeah, I own a business and I own a home, but those are not my greatest assets. My greatest assets is that I understand sacrifice, hard work. I understand commitment. I understand financial literacy and the importance of building a legacy and starting generational wealth. My mindset is what got me the things that I have. That's an asset.
Take note how even though she says that women shouldn't be leading with their finances, she still leads with her finances. She mentions her business as well as the concept of generational wealth while completely disregarding anything that a man would want or even need in a relationship to begin with.
The world is hard enough, so I have really worked hard to be a positive energy in the world. That is what I bring to a relationship. When you are out fighting the world, I want you to enjoy coming home. I want to be your peace and your comfort. I want to be the person that speaks life into you. The world is tearing you down, but I'm here to build you back up. Two heads are better than one. Teamwork makes the dream work. Those are things that I live by every day. So I understand that I need to be in a relationship for me to create the lifestyle that I want for my family. So understanding that we are better together than apart.
My question is, if you want to bring peace to your man, then why didn't you just lead with that sentence and be done with the answer? Bringing peace to a man's life is far more significant than your understanding of building generational wealth.
That's what I bring to a relationship. Yeah, I cook and clean and I know how to make a house a home, but I do it out of love. So I'm able to feed my family love from the inside out when they eat my food. When you come home and you sense the energy that house has been taken care of with love, that's what I bring to the table. I want to be welcoming to you. That's what I bring to the table. You ain't gonna get that everywhere.
How much do you want to bet that she's still single, guys? She's saying these things that she can do, but she doesn't mention how she is going to do any of those things for her family. So if anything, these words are ringing kind of hollow.
She only gets part of it. Behind the patriarchy lies an entire world of men who just enjoy doing their hobbies. What do you bring to the table? Do you have motherly personalities to raise babies? Are you meek and feminine? Do you have any hobbies, skills, or abilities that would benefit a family unit? Women have such a jaded view of this question because they bought into feminism.
Do you see these guys that ask what a woman brings to the table?
Do I see them? Oh, hell yes, because I'm one of the ones that asks all the time. And yet I never get an answer. Maybe this time I will. Let's see what she has to say, shall we?
And they ask it seriously. I'm convinced that men that ask that question is because they never met a woman yet that they super wanted.
Men ask the table question because it's a perfectly reasonable question. If a man is going to welcome another person into his life, he has every right to know what he's going to be getting in return. And it's rather telling when a woman answers the question with resentment instead of anything meaningful.
What? Super wanted as opposed to wanted? I guess there's a difference. I don't know what it is, but this ought to be good.
That or they're gay, and I can't be convinced otherwise.
Oh dear Lord. They're gay? If a man asks a woman what she's going to offer him in a relationship, he's gay?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh my. Let's continue.
You're a man and you're super into a woman. What does the woman bring for you to the table? The fact that she's exclusively yours and you wanted her bad enough. The fact that your desire of wanting her has been fulfilled by having her and having her exclusively.
Or to put it another way, nothing.
So, in other words, she brings nothing but vanity and bitterness. These women are so bitter that they can't get a relationship, that they lash out at the men who don't want to risk everything they have over someone who can't add anything meaningful in the first place.
I mean, literally nothing, other than he gets graced with her presence, which I guess she thinks is of some sort of value to a man. And I think I can safely say on behalf of most, if not all men, your presence isn't going to matter that much to us. Unless you're bringing something of real value to us.
That's what she brings to the table.
So as I said, a big nothing burger. Ladies, if you're watching this, I hope you take heed of what I'm about to say.
I sometimes wonder how these women think that their existence is somehow a valuable thing to a man. She's standing there saying that her own sense of superiority is somehow a benefit to the dude. You literally cannot make this stuff up.
Because it'll save you a lot of lonely nights and a lot of wondering about where are all the guys and why aren't they asking me out? And I'm not trying to insult or demean anyone. But this mindset is why guys are walking away in droves. This sense of entitlement, this sense of self-worth, that today's women have that they think simply gracing us with their presence is all they need to do. Yet they've got a whole list of things that we need to fulfill for them. Here's a hint for you, ladies. Everything she said she can provide, we can get from a dog. And we can get it without the drama.
And one thing that nobody really mentions is that the odds of getting unconditional love from a dog is also significantly higher than with a modern woman.
Without having to spend a ton of money, without having to worry if we've done enough housework to make her happy, or whatever else it is on her list. No, that dog will give their love to us unconditionally, every day, every night, 24/7. Something I guarantee you that we're not going to get from a woman who thinks this way. I've said it before, I'll say it again, but I know you're not going to listen. Your presence is meaningless to us unless you're giving us the things that we are looking for in a relationship. And I and many others have told you what those things are. Respect, acknowledgement, and peace. Those are the three big things. Yet you will not give them to us. You won't even consider it. All you're going to offer is your presence. Hate to break it to you, ladies, but we're going to have to take a hard pass.
It's rather dumbfounding how these women take such offense over the idea of a man needing anything in a relationship. They have literally conditioned themselves into thinking that if a man wants peace, then he's somehow insecure. And there is no practical way to wrap one's mind around that idea. The women will only be interested in a man if he's an attractive blank slate, which is kind of impossible.
I love this guy. I react the same. These women come up with all kinds of goofy phrases to validate their sociopathy. The two P's are often the only thing they bring to the table. Most women literally have no hobbies or real skill sets. Not much else to add. This guy really sums it up perfectly. And I'm sure he's seen feminism in all its glory over the years. Love my dogs too.
I see you watching my Instagram stories. You miss me, don't you? Nah, I just swipe on stories randomly.
Modern women love to put an unhealthy amount of weight into their social media presence. They honestly think it's the most accurate reflection of their value. They measure their worth by the number of likes they get on a damn Instagram post.
No, you don't. Just say it. I got a nose job. I started going to the gym. I've improved financially and physically. You must miss me. Trust me, I don't. But good for you. I just saw your stories a few days ago. You're still the same guy. I thought after we broke you were going to start taking care of yourself and stuff. But somehow you're still a loser, Amal. Thanks. You're not over me yet, I can tell. But it's never too late to change yourself. If you want me back, just say it. Maybe I'll think about it and give you a chance. Nah, I don't want you.
So her plan is to relentlessly insult and mock this man and hope that he gets back together with her. If the roles were reversed, this would actually be considered an abusive relationship, but because it's a woman saying these hurtful things, of course it is completely justified.
No, you do. You're just acting hard to get, and this isn't good for you, cause no girl in the world would want to date a loser like you. Probably shouldn't even have texted you in the first place. You're completely right. Wow, you really just proved to me that you just never had feelings for me. How can you be so cold to the person who truly loved you and cared for you? I didn't mean to come off as rude or anything. I'm really sorry, but can we sort this out? I'm gonna be honest now, I really miss you. It just seems like you're the perfect guy for me.
If this video proves anything, it's a warning to men everywhere. Sarcasm and texting is a dangerous combination and should probably be avoided most of the time.
Okay, cool. I knew you also missed me, haha. You were just waiting for me to make a move. So we're basically back together now, right? Absolutely not.
The low IQ manipulation attempts, paired with the project, is borderline or sociopathy. Getting involved with a crazy chick always happens out of nowhere. They are so good at hiding it. And then, you get a laundry list of texts like this, or some crazier behavior. Relationships are straight up dangerous. In all aspects for men these days, it's insane, and people wonder why they've removed themselves from the dating scene.
Okay, I'm getting ready to go on a date, but I learned some information today that feels illegal to know. I was talking to one of my guy friends about love bombing, and he goes, well, yeah, that sounds like the penny method. I was like, the penny method? There are methods? So he starts explaining it to me, and he goes, okay, imagine a girl is a piggy bank, which, interesting analogy, but hear me out.
It's actually a fair analogy when you think about it. A modern woman will squirrel away as much money as she can strictly for herself. The difference is she expects the entire planet to fill it for her.
In order to get her interested, obviously at first you have to be feeding her $100 bills. But putting in $100 bills is a lot of work, and you don't always want to be doing that. So eventually you reduce it to 90. Now she's going to feel the decrease in effort, but it's only 10%. So if she tries to bring it up, she's going to sound crazy at this point. Now here's where it gets sick. The next thing you do is you bump it back up to 95. Now, instead of feeling like she lost 5, which is how she would feel if you went directly from 100 to 95, suddenly she feels like she's gained 5. But you are still putting in 5% less effort.
How can these women actually measure quote-unquote effort, and how are they able to actually add a percentage onto this effort? And it's awfully interesting how they aren't held to this effort. With them, the answer is always 100%.
Basically, you just keep repeating this cycle and weaning her off your effort until you get to the point where you're giving her pennies and suddenly she's excited to receive a nickel.
Sensational.
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public, so make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway guys, back to today's episode.
The idea that men might actually think like this makes me so afraid. Like, is this boy math? Because I don't like it. Anyways, be safe out there, ladies. I think the takeaway message in all of this is that we should never be accepting anything less than $100 bills.
It's interesting how she makes sure her designer handbag is front and center as she is demanding vast sums of money from other dudes. It really shows where she places her priorities.
My fiancé asked for a one-sided open marriage. So I canceled the wedding. 2 weeks ago, we were 2 weeks away from getting married. She asked me to go to therapy with her.
If a man is getting blindsided by a woman who suddenly says that he needs to go to therapy, that should be an insult red flag, but it's better to get this out of the way before the marriage license is signed.
She was already seeing a therapist on her own and wanted me to go with her and have a talk, before the wedding, where we could be completely honest with one another. That sounded a little weird to me. I thought we were already completely honest with one another. After all, we were getting married in 2 weeks, right? Also, she was super protective about her therapy sessions and didn't really talk about them. I have never met her therapist. So to be invited there all of a sudden seemed a little out of place to me. The day comes, and I go there. But out of self-preservation, I had my phone open and recording any audio. My fiancé was already there. I had to wait 20 minutes before I was invited in. The therapist greets me and shakes my hand. We have small talk. She tells me I am not at all the way my fiancé described me. I think she is trying to compliment me. Then she looks at my fiancé and tells her this may be harder than we thought. That absolutely weirded me out. But I am a calm and collected individual, and I don't react, just keep that dumb smile on my face we all have in awkward situations. So the therapist starts talking. Has a small speech I don't care to repeat. My fiancé takes my hand as the therapist starts telling me that we live in a modern world, and that my fiancé wants us to have a non-conventional marriage moving forward.
There seems to be no end to the colorful phrases that women like to use when it comes to this kind of stuff. Open marriages, non-conventional marriages, ethical non-monogamy. But I guess that's just because financially backed carousel riding doesn't carry the same kind of ring to it.
I smile. I am not sure what the hell that means. Through my mind, I am thinking she wants to talk about how she will not be a slave to her husband. She will not sacrifice her work life, etc. modern woman and girl power and all that. Nope. She is actually talking about how once we get married, she wants to be free to sleep with other men. The other non-traditional type of marriage. But she loves me a lot, and would not be comfortable with me having the same benefits. Because she would be too heartbroken knowing that I find other women attractive and that one of them could steal me from her. So I let them finish talking. They were very fluent, and they got more confident talking, probably empowered by my lack of reaction, and because I wasn't saying anything. This was definitely something they had rehearsed. I then asked the therapist if she was licensed. This, by her reaction, was not what she expected to be the first thing coming out of my mouth.
This is an excellent question. Take a look at all of these experts and counselors on the internet. It makes you wonder how many of them actually have licenses or any kind of formal training.
She said yes. So I told her to explain to my fiancé why we would not be getting married anymore, and why we would not continue being a couple starting immediately. I wished them good luck, and left the office. Now, I want to report the therapist.
We're starting to hear more and more stories of therapists injecting politics into their sessions. It really does make you wonder how many therapists out there have ulterior motives when it comes to their clients.
I'll be honest, I don't think guys and girls can be friends. It's just
Oh,
the
at
truth.
all?
No, at all. Listen, there's a formula. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let me hear it.
Okay, if they're both hot, they can't be friends because you're both hot. Like, you're just gonna want each other. If you're both ugly, it can work because you don't really have that many options and you already like each other. So then you're just like, okay, you love me, I love you. Let's like have a family.
Yeah.
But then if one is hot and one is not, it depends who's the hot one. So if the guy is
Like
hot,
the reacher and the settler?
yeah. If the guy's hot, I really think because men are visual creatures, like it can't work if he's not attracted to the woman. So that friendship can work.
Do you ever notice how these women love to talk in extremes, especially in this case? She's saying it won't work when one person is hot and the other one is ugly, but they also operate under the assumption that all women are perfect 10s. So friendships can't work if the man isn't Chad under their own mindset.
But if the girl is really beautiful and the guy is not, it can still work. The friendship can work. No, sorry. They'll get married. Because if he has a good personality and he's successful and rich, she'll settle the look department and she'll just marry him. So that's my equation on that.
I mean, that's pretty calculaic.
No, it's true. Like, there's a study on it. I don't know who did it. I just made that up.
Yeah, okay. Science. I mean, you really value science.
Do I?
Take a look at this woman's face when she talks to guys. She's looking all over the place and she's trying to justify her words, but she quite literally cannot think of anything. So she's fumbling around with what she's trying to say. She's more concerned with trying to create a profoundly intelligent hot take than actually making any sense. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.